Hello, and welcome to the Global Luxury Real Estate Mastermind with me, your host, Michael Valdez. Today's guest, oh my God, I'm excited. A dear, dear friend of mine, one of the top brokers in New York City, Harry Nasser from Sotheby's International Realty. Welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Thank you, Michael. I'm great. I'm so happy to be here talking to you. It's been too long.
It's been way too long.
Yeah, it's been too long, really.
I know.
This COVID thing has everybody so distant, and it's time to reconnect.
We used to have a standing dinner, used to sort of like go to your house, spend time with your lovely family. We have to get back to that.
It's gonna be soon.
It's going to be very soon.
I was thinking, we've been friends for over 10 years already.
Well over 10 years.
And the first time that we met, you have to tell me, when did you move from Miami? How many years ago?
So to Miami or from Miami?
From Miami. When did you leave Miami?
I left Miami in 2010.
Okay.
And I moved to London in the beginning of 2011.
So I'm going to say easily 12 to 13 years we've known each other. Because first time I met you was you were still an agent in Miami, and you showed me a gorgeous apartment in Miami Beach, and I wish I bought it.
I wish you would have too. And I remember that, and that was 2009.
Yes, amazing.
It was incredible. 2009. Isn't that crazy?
Crazy.
I know. And here we are full circle.
I know. Amazing.
And beyond.
And let's keep going.
That's the only thing what's left to do is to keep going.
That's right.
Because the alternative sucks.
Totally. I'm so happy.
So, Harry, I am so glad you're on the show. You have such a wealth of background, and I love this. So I want to jump right into it. Right before we got on air, we were talking about the fact that I feel so blessed that this podcast has found such a great audience, and we're now distributed in over 100 countries. And so there is always a really great desire to know about New York real estate, which we're going to get into in a minute. But I want the audience to know Harry. So tell us how you got started in real estate.
Thank you, Michael. It's such a privilege and such a happy moment for me to be here in front of you.
Oh, brother.
My start was very funny. It's a really funny story. I was 10 years old, still living in Brazil, where I grew up, and I rented my grandmother's vacation apartment by sheer coincidence.
Oh, come on. You were 10.
It was crazy. I'll tell you the story. My parents owned an apartment in the same building as my grandmother's in the shore in Brazil. And I was playing in front of the building with all my friends and neighbors. And a woman walked into the lobby from the street and asked the doorman if there were any apartments for rent for the summer. And I jumped right in, and I'm like, yes, my grandma's apartment. And I took her to see the apartment.
Your first transaction was at 10.
Yep. And I showed her the apartment. And she took the apartment immediately. She jumped on it.
Oh, my God.
And my grandmother gave me a commission equivalent to today, $5 to $10. And my dad, her son-in-law, told me that my grandmother was cheap.
I thought you were going to say he took a broker's commission from it.
And she should have given me a lot more. I have to say, I love my grandmother. She was one of my heroes growing up. So I forgave her for that.
Oh my God, that's a great story. That's fantastic. All right. So take me from 10 years old to you being one of the top brokers in New York.
Okay. That sounds good. So after that, basically helped my family in Brazil to buy and sell, gave always great ideas about renovation, about space. I was blessed with good vision for space, and also blessed with business. So it's the perfect formula for real estate. So
yes.
As time went by, I moved to the States, and I moved to New York, and started to buy. I started to buy real estate. I love real estate. So even before I got into the real estate business, I've always bought and sold and rented real estate. So it's in my blood.
So, okay. So you had your own portfolio of properties. And this is what I find really interesting, because then you went to the brokerage side, right? And you started on that side of it. What did you sort of see with you as a client? Because now you're on the other side, right? So you as a client, what was missing for you that now you actually provide for your clients, which has probably been a very strong key to your success?
Thank you, Michael. Indeed. My motto is basically efficiency and trust. And what I mean by that in more mundane words is transparency and hard work. And I cannot really put that after my name, it becomes too odd. But that's really basically what it is. It boils down to being transparent, to being ethical, to being honest, and to work really hard for your clients, whether it's a buyer or a seller. And I'm all for that. So I'm very transparent with them. I tell them things the way they are, and give them all my best. I give everything that I have as if I'm buying it for myself or for my mom or my family. I'm really, really all for my clients. So when I take a client on, I give myself 100%.
It's such a simple formula, isn't it? It's just the idea of being transparent to really be that trusted advisor. You just nailed both of them. It's the efficiency and the trust. And at that point, because we live in a society now where information is in our fingertips, they don't need us to find the apartment. They can go on Street Easy for that. They need you for what they can't find on the internet. They need you to trust them to say, is this the right investment for me and my family?
You said it all. I recently bought a place up in Connecticut.
Yeah.
And I could have gone directly if I wanted. I've got the experience. I know how to negotiate, but I don't have the local knowledge.
There you go.
And I insisted on finding a great broker to take me around and to give me the local knowledge, which I didn't have. So when people say they can go directly, and a lot of people do, they don't realize how many mistakes they're making. They don't realize. Costly. And they think they're saving money. I know so many people who went on their own and they don't realize what a mistake it was. I could have saved them so much money.
Absolutely. It's so true.
Yeah.
So tell me, it's like, since you and I have been in the industry has changed tremendously, right? When we both first started and everything else. But now, it's a buyer's market. And if somebody is a realtor now, you just trip over a sale. So there is a skill set. I always sort of say that, if you're new to the business now, it's almost a disservice because you don't have the skill set to really weather when there's going to be an inevitable downturn, because every market is cyclical. So what 3 pieces of advice would you give somebody entering the business today?
It's quite simple, Michael. What I would do is there's 3. The 3 of them are the following. The first one is, depends if you have a good book of contacts. So if you're starting and you do have a good book of contacts, you call or message everyone to announce that you're now a real estate agent and that you're ready to help them. So that's number 1. If you don't have a good contact list, it will take a bit longer to build your portfolio. And my advice is to join a team. If I were you, I would talk to your manager and ask them for a few options of teams that would fit best with you. Interview the team leader and the key members of the team and go with the team that you feel will contribute towards your growth and success. That's really the key. And then you'll be able to build your own business. The second thing is be friendly with the agent community. Volunteer, help, be pleasurable. I mean, you have no idea how far it goes. I've made so many friends in the industry, and it's so positive. You know, I did a deal with someone who I became friends with, and whenever I have another deal that's from the same company, I call him and I'm like, look, do you know this broker? Can you please put a good word for me? You have no idea how far it took me.
Yes.
I've done deals that I could have never done because of that. Because they know me, they know I'm serious, they know I'm ethical, they know I mean what I say. So that really goes very far. So be friendly with the agent community.
And I'm gonna say something to that too, Harry. What's really interesting is that most people now, because it is a buyer's market, listen, I'm in the market, I'm buying properties, and I can't tell you how many times I don't get a call back from an agent after I put in an offer, because they have other offers and it's just, I guess mine wasn't the top one. But it's like, for me, I actually keep a track of this because I don't want to do business with them.
Absolutely.
It's like, I've given you an offer that you haven't responded to. And so it is that, and they know that I'm in the business. It's that sense of having a relationship. The relationship is not just with your client, it's with your community. It's with
100.
your colleagues.
100%.
So I love that you said that, because that is, first of all, not a lot of people say that. It's the fact that they're not, the only competition is yourself. Your agents at other agencies are not your competition. They're your colleagues.
100%.
100%.
And everybody should help each other.
Absolutely.
Buyers, brokers, and sellers, brokers, yes, they have a commitment to their own customers.
Yes.
But they have to work together.
Absolutely.
To get to the final goal. And the only way to do it is respecting each other, treating each other with kindness, and being transparent. It's so great when someone calls me and say, look, I just wanted to let you know we do have a lot of interest for this property. If you want it, you have to come an extra step. I mean, just by saying that, and you'll know if the person is being truthful or not.
Of course you will.
And you'll transmit that to the buyer, and then the buyer decides do they want to go the extra step, but they don't.
That's it.
But
your number one, when you sort of said whether somebody has a sphere of influence, and when you begin calling everybody in your book, what you said was also really poignant. You say, I'm in real estate and I'm ready to help. Not I'm ready to sell you something. I'm ready to help you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the mindset that changes to really be successful. We're only successful by serving others.
100%.
Right?
100%. Couldn't.
So what's your number 3? I took you off on a tangent, but I love
my number 3. I love those tangents. My number 3 is be honest with your customers. Sell your buyers only what you trust will sell when the time comes. In other words, don't just sell because you want to make a sale. Sell something that's going to be a good investment. And when that same buyer who bought that apartment will be like, you know what? This was a great buy. I'm going to give it back to you to sell it for me this time. And it will be an easy transaction. You didn't sell him a lemon. You sold him a great apartment.
That's right.
And you have to be, full of integrity when you sell something. And that's what I do. I really like to find great places for the clients. They'll be proud of going there, of living there. And when it's the time to sell, I'll be so proud to sell it as well.
Love that. Yeah. That is so true, because that's what we do. That's what we do.
Yes.
So tell me who's been the most influential person in your life and why?
I had to think hard about this question. Um, there's a few people, but if I have to choose one, it's my mother.
Mm.
She always trusted me and pushed me to succeed. She was a force behind me coming to college in Boston. And that was a life-changing experience for me. I was very comfortable in Brazil, very, very comfortable. I lived a beautiful life, very spoiled, had everything that I wanted.
Renting
And,
your grandmother's place at 10, it was great.
So it was a big step for me to come here. And she was behind that. So, and after Boston, contrary to what my dad wanted me to do, he wanted me to go back to Brazil and work in the family business. With my mom's support, I decided to come to New York instead of Brazil and be an entrepreneur. And I had a clothing business for 26 years, and that was awesome. In the meantime, I married Alicia and had two loving daughters who you know very well.
I do, and they're beautiful.
And had great time together. And my mom also was inspirational in the sense that she was always ahead of the curve. She was the first person to own a cell phone and a laptop before anyone I knew.
Wow.
She always pushed me to succeed in everything that I did. And that's if I had to choose one person, she's the person.
I love that. That's beautiful. So tell me what the greatest lesson you've learned in your career. And it doesn't necessarily have to be your real estate career because you've had a couple. Right.
Thank you. It's to believe in yourself and to be strong. Listen to other people who are more experienced than you, but you have to really find the answer inside of you. And that's the most important thing that I learned. Listen to your gut.
Yeah.
Even if it means that you have to go against other people sometimes in a gentle way, obviously. You don't want to fight with people, but you sometimes have to not agree, and that's fine. So really believe in your gut and go for it.
I think that's an important one because it's that intangible. We all have that voice. Mm-hmm. You have to trust the voice.
Yeah, and sometimes you learn the hard way.
You do.
And I had a situation not too long ago where I listened to someone more experienced than I had, and it was the wrong advice, and it backfired on me. Instead of following my gut, I didn't, and it really backfired. And I said, from now on, not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's it. Follow your own voice.
That's it.
Yeah. So you're very successful, Harry, in probably one of the most competitive markets on the planet. I mean, it's crazy. So you're in New York City and you've carved out an amazing niche for yourself. You represent some of the highest priced properties in New York City. You have built an amazing business. Tell me a little bit about where the market is now and how you're sort of like carving that niche for yourself.
So the market in New York City, the luxury market is hot. Good apartments that are priced correctly are selling fast. Prices in New York are still reasonable. They're about 10 to 15%, sometimes 20, and even 30% lower than they were at the height of the market in 2015. And it's crazy. But the low prices will not last for a long time. So that's my advice. If people are interested in buying, there's still great opportunities right now. And prices should start going up pretty soon. And the reason for that is that there are more apartments going into contract now than there are new apartments coming into the market. So the buyer's market will soon become balanced and maybe become a seller's market pretty soon. In some cases, I have to say, when I've priced things correctly, I've been having bidding wars and the apartments going over ask. So there's definitely a lot of activity, and when there's less new apartments going onto the market than contracts being signed,
Yes.
is basically the perfect storm for price increases. So the market is
Prime
geared.
for it.
It's geared to go up soon. Yes. As a matter
And
of
listen,
fact,
I'm in the market, so I can attest to that. There's some great opportunities now, but I see the potential again because I'm born and raised in New York, so you've seen the cycles, and it's primed again.
yes, absolutely. As a
Yeah.
matter of fact, in some new developments, the ones that are really hot, they're not giving 1 penny of discount.
Wow.
They're having the buyers pay full price,
Wow.
pay for the transfer taxes, not a penny, zero, 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 zero. It's incredible. I
Wow.
was so impressed by some of these new developments that are coming up. Really beautiful things.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. So, I know that you and your wonderful family are incredibly philanthropic also. Tell me a little bit about those efforts that you're doing now. I know you're very humble, but I'm the one asking you.
Thank you. Thank you. Michael, thank you for asking about that. We we love to give back.
I know.
We consider ourselves very lucky. And as part of the universal law, you have to help.
Absolutely.
To give back is one of the most fulfilling things for the human being. And I believe that when you give, you receive, whether it's love, whether it's monetary, whether it's advice, friendship, everything, And I know you believe in that as well. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. There's this institution called the Friendship Circle, which my family has been involved for many, many years. It helps families with special need kids.
Mm.
My daughters were taught from an early age to spend time with those kids with special needs.
Wow.
And to give a break to the parents who have to attend to those kids 24/7.
Wow.
So they have some time off, they have some time to enjoy life, to go out, to run errands, whatever it is. So, and the kids on both sides have a great learning experience, and it's positive for everybody. It's a beautiful cause.
Wow.
And I also pay attention to people around the world who need help, whether, after the tsunami, that huge tsunami, whether it's an earthquake, like example, the one that happened in Haiti, or
Yes.
hurricanes. There was one that happened in Honduras. It was horrible. And it flooded the whole country. It was a mess. So I've always tried to pay attention to those times. And we don't have to go that far, here in New York, here in America, COVID days, 2020 and 2021, instead of sending a holiday gift to my customers, I decided to donate funds to help so many people who are hungry and unemployed because of COVID. And, and I do it in the name of my clients. And I chose Robinhood as the vehicle to help those people.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. So those are the few little things that I like to keep back.
That's amazing. And it is all about that. I agree with you. It's all about giving back. It's our responsibility to, we've been very, very blessed, and it's our responsibility to. And so I applaud all of your efforts that you and your beautiful family do together.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael. Thanks.
So tell me, what's your favorite book?
Okay, I like that question too.
Ew.
There's a book that I continuously read. I keep going back to it.
What is it?
It's called The Quotable Einstein.
The Portable Einstein.
The Quotable.
Excuse me.
The Quotable Einstein, and it's by Alice Calapresi, and there was a foreword by Freeman Dyson.
Okay.
And the reason why I like this book is because when I was 18 and still insecure whether to live my comfortable life in Brazil, My English teacher in Brazil wrote a quote from Albert Einstein, and the quote said, "Take your thoughts seriously, and they will shape you." And it stayed with me. And she wrote that to me, and I put it in my wallet, and I kept it with me for many years. And that gave me more confidence to take the step forward to come and study in the US. Therefore, I've had an admiration for Einstein since then, not only as a genius in science, which I absolutely don't understand anything, but as one of the smartest people about life as well. Yeah. And he has incredible quotes, which, you know, if you guys like philosophy, it's a fantastic book. I truly I'd recommend that.
I'm taking that one.
Yes.
So I have one final question for you.
Yes.
In your book of life, what is this chapter called for you?
This chapter is called Evolution. And where the reason is because we're always evolving. And, you know, we're always looking to be a better person today than we were yesterday. Life is too short, and there's no time to waste with small things. I work very hard, and when I'm not working, I'm either spending time with my family, with friends, or improving myself. And by improving myself is basically meditating, praying, exercising, traveling, or helping others so that I can move forward as a human being. It's really something that drives me. It's to always become a better self.
I love that, my brother. And, you know, I haven't seen you in a while, so this is such a treat for me. It is wonderful to see you. I know we're having dinner next week. I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be wonderful to reconnect with you. You are such a dear friend. We've known each other such a long time. And I admire who you are as a person, as a leader, as a philanthropist. And I am just so honored and blessed to call you my friend.
Thank you, Michael. The feeling is mutual. I'm so honored and happy to have been interviewed by you. And I look forward so much to our dinner next week.
Me too. I love it. I can't wait. And thank you for all of you for listening. This has been the Global Luxury Real Estate Mastermind with me, your host, Michael Valdez.